ये नफरत बुरी है, ना पालो इसे। ये नफरत बुरी है, ना पालो इसे। दिलों में नफरत है, निकालो इसे। न तेरा, न मेरा, न इसका, न उसका। ये सबका वतन है, बचा लो इसे। लहराएगा तिरंगा अब सारे आसमां पर। भारत का नाम होगा सबकी जुबान पर। ले लेंगे उसकी जान या खेलेंगे अपनी जान पर। कोई जो उठाएगा आंख हमारे हिंदुस्तान पर। दाग गुलामी का धोया है जान लुटाकर। दीप जलाए हैं कितने दीप बुझाकर। मिली है जब यह आजादी, तो फिर इस आजादी को रखना होगा हर दुश्मन से आज बचाकर। सभी को मेरा सादर प्रणाम। आप सभी को 73वें गणतंत्र दिवस की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। I extend a very warm welcome to our respected Vice Chairperson, Mrs. Anjali Jaipuriyama, our Principal, Mrs. Promni Chopra ma'am, Vice Principal Anupam Vidyarthi sir, Vinay Pandey sir, Rashmi Singh ma'am, and all my fellow Indians. In this land of ours, enriched by diversity with many festivals, our national festivals are celebrated by everyone with great patriotic fervor. We have gathered here today to celebrate the National Festival of the Republic Day with enthusiasm and express our respect for the national flag and our faith in the Constitution. This day reminds us of our freedom struggle and how the great freedom fighters of our country sacrificed their lives to get us the Poon Swaraj. It is because of their struggle that today we are living in a democratic country where each citizen has rights. The adversities of the previous years have only reminded us of what we have always known deep in our hearts, that care and concern for humanity and the feeling of fraternity is what kept us together for millennia. In every sphere, Indians rose to the occasion and put others before themselves. We Indians live and die for humanity.
If there is someone who has taught us that instead of cursing the darkness, you can light a candle and show up as a leader, it is indeed a vice chairperson, Ma'am Anjali Jaipuria. Mahatma Gandhi has always believed in the idea that in a gentle way, we can shake the world. And to infuse this philosophy in us, may I now invite Ma'am to address the August gathering.
Respected Promni Ma'am, Vidyarthi Sir, Asha Chadha Ma'am, teachers, and dear students. I'd like to quote here Sri Aurobindo as I always do. And Sri Aurobindo said, and I quote, "I have three fires in me, three fires that burn in me. The first is this: I firmly believe that the accomplishment, talent, education, and means that God has given me are all His. The second fire, which burns in me, which has recently seized hold of me, is I must somehow see God. My third fire, the one that motivates me, is that other people look upon the country as an inert piece of matter, a stretch of fields and meadows, forests and rivers. To me, she is the mother. I adore her. I worship her. I know I have the strength to redeem this fallen race. It is not physical strength. It is the strength of knowledge. This feeling is not new. I was born with it and it is in my marrow. God has sent me in this world to accomplish this great mission. Unquote. My dear students, you too are full of various strengths. Some of you have physical power. Some are reservoirs of compassion. Some are mental geniuses. Some of you have very inquisitive minds, which leads to inquiry and finally to discovery. Some of you are natural motivators, and some amongst you are born to lead. You are the youth. You are the future on whom our Mother India has turned her gaze and pinned her hopes on. Today, India stands at a point where she's ready to take flight. Ready to take flight. We have had unprecedented growth in so many sectors. Whether we see our technology, medical facilities, transport and communication, we are doing so well. So many sectors. Our villages, which since independence remained disconnected from cities, are now being connected through roads. Every citizen, almost all, have now an individual identity registered with the government, the Aadhaar card. People in villages are now being granted money in their bank accounts by the government to build their own brick and cement houses. They no longer have to live in temporary hutments which are blown away by every storm and flood. Their wives now cook on gas and are saved from cooking on wood and getting asthma. Most citizens of India have now their own bank account. Our country is progressing. We are being recognized and respected globally. The education sector still needs transformation, no doubt. A national education policy has been drafted and it is progressive, it is brilliant, but it still needs vigorous implementation. Schools have to be made to implement it. Today, let us take a vow, dear students, that we too will contribute in this upward trajectory of our motherland, and that we will take her to the peaks of glory where she deserves to be. But for that, let's think for a while. What do we need to do? First, we need to become Indians. Let us recognize the glory of our legacy. Let us respect our legacy. Let us recover our legacy. We are Aryans, the Aryans who dwelled on the river Saraswati. We did not come from other lands. There was no Aryan invasion. We are the original Aryans, the Aryans who heard the Vedas, who heard the Shrutis. We are the Aryans who compiled the Upanishads. We are the Aryans who heard Lord Krishna sing the Gita. Let us recover the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Gita, and let us then use this knowledge to move forward, to progress. Let us live this great wisdom. Let our lives be empowered by this wisdom, which is our inheritance, our birthright. This alone will make our motherland, Bhavani Bharati, and us great and strong, mighty, invincible, and fearless. Difficulty and impossibility will vanish from our vocabularies. बस ये प्रण लेने की देरी है, मेरे प्यारे बच्चों. हमारी युवा शक्ति ही भारत माँ की शक्ति है. If any of you students or all of the students who want to understand this theory of Aryan invasion, if you feel that this is something that we need to discuss, that you need to hear some great historians speak about it and cancel the myth if it is wrong. If it is a mythology, something that's been created by outsiders, that we aren't the original Aryans, we came from Iran. Hello, let's hear some great historians about it. So Pramni ma'am, if there are students who would like to understand this Aryan invasion theory being a myth, please collect their names. Give me some time. I would invite 2-3 great historians. One of theirs, the book is in our library. It's out of print. If there are more students who want to read it, we will get photocopies done of it. The Invasion That Never Was by Michel Denino. Michel Denino. He's a French guy who's been in India for Adam's years. I've worked closely with him around 15 years back, but now he's become very, very busy. But if you students want to hear some historians speak about it, Alok Pandey speaks about it, we can invite 2-3 historians and speak about this Aryan invasion. At least our students should know the truth, not just our history books, which have been written by all kinds of. Yeah. So, प्रण लेना है बच्चों, और यही इसी चीज की देरी है, that हम सब मिल करके भारत माँ को beautiful बनाएंगे. We will take her to the great progress, to the levels where she ought to be, right? भारत माता की जय, भारत माता की जय, भारत माता की जय. Vande Mataram.
Thank you, ma'am, for instilling in us a spirit of patriotism and the attribute of responsible citizens in leading the growth of India. माँ तुझे सलाम, तू मस्तक पर विराजे, यही है मेरी शान. हर जीवर तेरे आंचल में खिले, यही है मेरे अरमा. We now request the strong lady behind this extraordinary institution, our respected principal, Mrs. Promini Chopra, ma'am, to address the gathering.
Honorable Vice Chairperson, Mrs. Anjali Jaipuria, teachers, school heads, parents, and students. I consider it my privilege to offer my heartfelt congratulations to all of us on the 73rd Republic Day in the 75th year of our independence. We are blessed to see this day. Now, I often hear people lament about the prevalent plagues in our country: corruption in endemic proportions, illiteracy, an irrelevant education system that does not breed empowered, innovative minds, suppressed basic sanitation, a flawed healthcare system, poverty, pollution, so on and so forth. Yes, these problems do exist, but they existed in the past, and we have to ask ourselves, the enormity of these social, political, and economic plagues, has it not lessened? To me, it has. I see this country as a progressive country. Globally, this country is a force to reckon with. And I take pride in my country's development so far. But progress is a never-ending process. It's an ongoing process. We all here, the educationists and the youth, the students, are responsible for this progress that is yet to be. Dear Indians, no nation is perfect. It has to be made perfect by human endeavor. And we are those humans. The guiding force being a deep-seated love and commitment to the nation. In such a diverse, overpopulated country, the onus is on us to create a growth-enabling ecosystem instead of leaving everything to our elected representatives. Why should we do that? Today, let us look at the responsibility students and educationists have towards this great nation. I'll talk only about this today because this is what we can do. It is in our hands. India has 487 million workers, yet 2/3 of Indian employers struggle to find workers with the right skills. Why? This contrast points to a change much needed in the way the youth is training itself. Now, to bridge this gap between existing employment and employability, skill building, rather than a competition for marks to seek social approval, has to be worked at. Who will do that? You and I. If we consider this country to be our provider, and then we need to have a lofty aim of this country's progress, number one. And this progress is not only individual progress, but also a development of the all-encompassing Mother India. We have to, each time we do something, we have to remind ourselves, is it my personal goal? Not a problem. But is this personal growth also aligned with my country's growth? If yes, then I should take it forward. When you have a quest for learning and a die-hard attitude for perfection, well, it is arduous. But in solving the tougher tasks lie richer experiences. Your country needs these richer experiences because growth is the resultant of all such experiences, my dear children. Teachers and students, in your ascent lies the economic development of this country. All of you have to liberate yourself and the society from the old system of education which created mediocre individuals. Why should we be mediocre? Excellence is a continuous pursuit, and students must chase this passionately to become resources which can bridge the gap between present-day employment and capable human resource. The youth and educationists have to fight with their narrowness with the same determination with which our freedom fighters fought to establish the Indian rule. How can we not lead the world when we are a nation with more than 50% of the population below the age of 25, dear children? Each time you are dragged by your inertia, remind yourself of the time we have already lost. Think deep and hard about where Bharat would be if half of our population had the physical agility and dynamism so characteristic of an ideal 25 years young individual. And you know who are those young individuals? You children, you are those 50% of young individuals. Dear students, our perceptions for this country, for India may vary, but the underlying unity of being Indians can't be denied. That's a reality. We have to be one nation with an uncolored vision for development through education. I implore upon all Jaipurians to arise and awaken to steer the will force in the direction of Bharat Mata's yearning, Bharat Mata's calling for development through education. Jai Bharat Mata, Jai Hind. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for helping us realize that we are all united through our one identity of being Indians. We are one love, one race. We all come from the same place. Love is the only river holding the world together. Love is the only river. We're all in this together. To convey the same message musically, we now have Abhed Singh of Class 6C to present a Western vocal performance.
We are one love, one race. We all come from the same place. We all live in this world together. It doesn't matter who the way, it doesn't matter who the wrong. If we don't all get along much better, show each other more respect, then maybe we could connect and stop taking all these things for granted. You think that you're all alone, but we all share the same home. Let's join together and save the planet. If you love the world, it'll have you back. No matter who you are, no matter where you're at. If you love the world, it'll have you back. No matter who you are, no matter where you're at. Love is the only river holding the world together. Love is the only river. We're all in this together. Love is the only river holding the world together. Love is the only river. We're all in this together. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhed. Indeed, if you love the world, it'll love you back. I now invite Harshvardhan Rastogi of Class 11F to perform the song Bharat Humko Jahan Se Pyara Hai on the violin.
Thank you for this remarkable performance, Harshvardhan. Indeed, a beautiful start.
Very beautiful start.
With freedom in mind, faith in words, pride in our heart, and with memories in our soul, let us salute this nation. May I now request the school head boy, Krishna Agarwal, to fill the audience with a sway of patriotic fervor.
Greetings, fellow citizens, my brothers and sisters. I feel honored to have been given this opportunity to speak with each one of you on the auspicious occasion of the 73rd Republic Day of India. India, in which even taking birth is a matter of immense pride. Because India is not just a piece of land. India is not just a group of people. India is not just a geographical territory or a political entity. India is an emotion. My emotion, your emotion. India is like soul to our body. Bharat desh nahi hamare pran hai. A very, very happy Republic Day to each one of you. Certainly not just the Republic Day, but each day in this Republic is very special. But it is today that we remind ourselves of how great our motherland, our Bharat Mata is, and derive inspiration from her to continue working towards making our nation better and better. 26th January, the day when 73 years ago our countrymen sang and danced in delight because the sacred document, the Constitution of India, had come into force. With the words sovereign democratic republic, justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity engraved in its preamble. It is a day to remind ourselves to uphold these very precious constitutional values. It is a day to recall that march that Pandit Nehru took on the banks of River Ravi and hoisted the tricolor flag there and gave the call for Purna Swaraj. It is a day to celebrate our identity of being Bharatiya. My heart fills with joy when I look at what all my country has achieved in the past. I am proud that my country is a rising space power that has indigenous space technology. I am proud that my country is a growing nuclear power that is committed to maintaining and promoting world peace. I am proud to belong to a country that has had leaders like Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, who during the 1971 war assured Prime Minister Indira Gandhi ji, महोदया आप आगे बढ़िए, पूरा विपक्ष आपके साथ है, क्योंकि यहाँ पर बात भारत की सुरक्षा की. I am proud that my country has the world's youngest population, with 2/3 of the people being under the age of 35 years, and will have the world's largest workforce by 2027. I'm proud that my country is the world's largest democratic republic. I am proud of the fact that my country is concluding the world's largest inoculation drive against the COVID-19 virus. I'm proud to belong to a country that was in ancient times the fount of wisdom. I know that there is a long way to go. There are a lot of gaps to fill, a lot of issues that India is currently facing that it needs to resolve. But tell me, is there any problem that is so big that even if all of us as a country come together, that we cannot solve? You ask the same question to that soldier standing at the freezing minus 40 degrees centigrade in Siachen. Ask the same question to Hari Rani, who chopped her head and placed it on a dish for her nation. Ask Panna Dhai, who sacrificed her own son for the future of her nation. Ask Shaheed Bhagat Singh, who delightfully embraced death for his country, India. Ask Chandrasekhar Azad, who shot himself but did not let the British even touch him. Ask Udham Singh, who traveled all the way to London to avenge the atrocities committed by General Dyer on Indians. Ask those countless youths who, with smiles on their faces, laid down their lives for the freedom of this nation. Like I said in the beginning, Bharat desh nahi hai, Bharat hamare pran hai. And you ask all of these legends if there is any national challenge that is so difficult that we as a country cannot overcome. You know the answer. To conclude, I would like to quote a few lines written by Chandrasekhar Azad ji. Jo ab tak na khola, wo khoon nahi pani hai. जो अब तक ना खोला वो खून नहीं पानी है, जो देश के काम ना आए वो बेकार जवानी है. भारत माता की जय. Thank you.
Krishna, I salute you. Your speech was just so powerful. So powerful.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Very rightly said, Krishna. India is not just a piece of land, it is an emotion. Now we have the school head girl, Sanya Bhargav, to say a few words.
अपना है दिन ये आज का, दुनिया से जाकर कह दो, ऐसे जागो रे साथियों, दुनिया की आंखें खोल दो. जियो तो सदा इसी के लिए, रहे अभिमान और यह हर्ष, न्यौछावर कर दे हम सर्वस्व, हमारा प्यारा भारतवर्ष. मेरे समक्ष प्रस्तुत हर उस भारतीय को जिसके हृदय में आज भी भारत को एक स्वराज्य से सुराज्य बनाने की अग्नि भभक रही है, सादर प्रणाम. I, Sanya Bhargav, the head girl for academic session 2021-2022, wish all of you a happy 73rd Republic Day and extend a warm welcome to all our audience. आज इस हर्षित दिन पर मैं आप सभी के साथ कुछ अहम बातें बताना चाहती हूँ. हमारे देश में स्वतंत्रता दिवस और गणतंत्र दिवस की अहम भूमिकाएं हैं. 15 अगस्त हमें याद दिलाता है स्वतंत्रता का महत्व, शहीदों के लहू का वो स्मरण करवाता है और भारत को एक सुराज्य बनने की प्रेरणा दे जाता है. फिर भी 26 जनवरी का महत्व 15 अगस्त जितना या उससे अधिक क्यों है? ये इस कारण है क्योंकि 26 जनवरी हमें याद दिलाता है हमारे संविधान की, संस्कृति, अनुशासन और सभ्यता की. आखिर वो आजादी किस ही काम की जिसे अनुशासन में बांधकर प्रगतिशील होने के लिए अग्रसर ना किया जा सके. आज भारत में 50 करोड़ युवा हाथ हैं जो भारत को हर क्षेत्र में, वैज्ञानिक, सांस्कृतिक, आध्यात्मिक, हर क्षेत्र में उत्तम बनाने के प्रयास में. भारत इन 50 करोड़ की युवा शक्ति से क्या कुछ नहीं कर सकता, परंतु ये तभी संभव है जब हमारे मन में प्रेम हो और तन में अनुशासन. एक विद्यार्थी के रूप में भी हमारे जीवन में अनुशासन, धैर्य और ध्यान का एक महत्वपूर्ण स्थान है। हम अक्सर अपने यौवन और स्वतंत्रता को सबसे उच्च स्थान दे बैठते हैं। ये हमारी भूल है। हमें समझना होगा कि नियमों का पालन करने से स्वतंत्रता खो नहीं जाती। बड़ों का आदर करने से हम छोटे नहीं बन जाते, बल्कि उनके आशीष से और ऊंची बुलंदियों को छू पाते हैं। हमारा संविधान हमें जीवन की अनेक सीखें दे गया है। जहां अधिकार है वहां कर्म है, जहां समानता है वहीं लोकतंत्र वी द पीपल अंकित है, और जहां अनुशासन है वहीं स्वतंत्रता है। Since today is the day when we are celebrating the establishment of our constitution, there is another thing that our constitution has taught us, and that is the importance, the significance of having a vision. Because it was the vision of our freedom fighters, the people of the Constituent Assembly Drafting Committee, who envisioned the India we are living today. India's youth has been labeled to be impulsive. They say we take quick decisions and try to sort out only the present. We need to learn to plan things. For that, we need to learn to sit with ourselves, introspect over our goals, our mistakes, our choices, so that we can lead India to be a better India. Another thing, या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्ति रूपेण संस्कृता, या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शांति रूपेण संस्कृता, नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। आज के दिन जब हम अपने भूत को स्मरण करते हैं, भविष्य के लिए दूरदर्शिता विकसित करने की बातें करते हैं, तो हमें अपने वर्तमान में भी कृतज्ञता प्रस्तुत करना आवश्यक है। हमें धन्यवाद देना आवश्यक है, न केवल हमारे स्वतंत्रता के सेनानियों का, संविधान के लेखकों का, परंतु आज के भारत के सरहद पर खड़े जवानों का, चिकित्सकों का जो कोविड से लड़ रहे हैं, हमारे जीवन में ज्ञान की दीपक जला रहे अध्यापकों का, घर पर बैठे बड़े बुजुर्गों का, और हर उस व्यक्ति का जिसने हमें स्वतंत्रता की महक और गणतंत्रता की चहक जीने का अवसर दिया है। हमें याद रखना होगा कि हम स्वर्ण भूमि, पूज्य भूमि, कर्म भूमि, धर्म भूमि, भारत की संतान हैं। हम वंशज हैं बलशाली भीम के, सत्यवादी महात्मा गांधी के, क्रांति प्रिय सुभाष चंद्र बोस के, न्याय प्रिय अशोक सम्राट के। हम वंशज हैं प्रेम स्वरूप भारत माता की। हमें याद रखना होगा और हमें गर्व करना होगा कि we are the daughters and sons of this country India. हम शांति भी जानते हैं, हम क्रांति भी जानते हैं, हम मित्रता भी जानते हैं, हम समय आने पर उत्तर देना भी जानते हैं, हम कोमलता भी जानते हैं, हम कठोरता भी जानते हैं, हम सेवा भी जानते हैं, हम शासन भी जानते हैं। Today, I call upon all the proud citizens of India to promise to themselves never to let the Indian flag bow down, never in spirit or in soul. क्योंकि जियो तो सदा इसी के लिए, रहे अभिमान और यह हर्ष, न्यौछावर कर दे हम सर्वस्व, हमारा प्यारा भारतवर्ष, हमारा प्यारा भारतवर्ष। भारत माता की जय।
Fantastic, Sanya. So beautiful. So much to learn from your children. I think you all should give us a lesson on writing these beautiful talks. Beautiful. Maza aa gaya.
Thank you, Krishna and Sanya. Heartening to listen to both of you. And Sanya, the way you traced our lineage and our history, and both Krishna. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mehul, Sonakshi, my God. Much to learn from you guys.
Thank you very much, Sanya. चलो फिर से खुद को जगाते हैं, अनुशासन का डंडा फिर से घुमाते हैं, सुनहरा रंग है गणतंत्र का शहीदों के लहू से, ऐसे शहीदों को हम आज सलाम करते हैं. Dance is indeed the word of a tongue-tied person. The soil of India is enriched with various dance forms like Kathak, Bharatnatyam, and folk. India's strength has always been in its diverse dance environs. It is imperative that with each Republic Day, we celebrate this diversity. We now have a small performance by the flag bearers of Jaipuria, which will fulfill your heart's desire to travel across during the COVID-19. I request the Performing Arts Captain Anushrita Ghosh to take us along in this wonderful journey.
अपना है दिल ये आज का, दुनिया से जाके बोल दो, बोल दो. ऐसे जागो रे साथियों, दुनिया की आंखें खोल दो, खोल दो. लहरा दो, लहरा दो, सरकशी का परचम लहरा दो. गर्दिश में फिर अपनी सरजमी का परचम लहरा दो. लहरा दो, लहरा दो, सरकशी का परचम लहरा दो. गर्दिश में फिर अपनी सरजमी का परचम लहरा दो. ओ हाथ धर के बैठने से क्या भला कुछ होता है. हाथ धर के बैठने से क्या भला कुछ होता है. लकीरों को दिखा क्या जोर बाजू होता है. लकीरों को दिखा क्या जोर बाजू होता है. हिम्मत मर्दा अगर हो सब खुदा भी होता है. जा ज़माने को दिखा दे खुद में दम क्या होता. लहरा दो, लहरा दो, सरकशी का परचम लहरा दो. गर्दिश में फिर अपनी सरजमी का परचम लहरा दो. लहरा दो, लहरा दो, सरकशी का परचम लहरा दो. गर्दिश में फिर अपनी सरजमी का परचम लहरा दो.
Wow, this was mind blowing. Fantastic. Fantastic. I salute the choreographers and the performers.
It all started with one video that was sent long back to Dipali ma'am. Anushrita, these were your hands, right?
Yes, ma'am. White was mine, and then
Yes.
saffron was Sonakshi's, and
Sonakshi's.
green was Stuti's.
Yes, all three. So they thought that people should understand that these hands are of these girls who are dancing. That is why they brought in the dance after that.
Oh,
And thank you so much. When I had sent, I didn't know that someday you would do it, though I had that faith secretly. Thank you. Thank you.
very nice.
लहरा दो, सरकशी का परचम लहरा दो. गर्दिश में फिर अपनी सरजमी का परचम लहरा दो. We now have a panel of students of class 11 and 12 to go against the superstition that Gen Z can't carry forward the tradition of our country. I am personally very excited for this discussion, which will be in the form of an interview on the question being, can Gen Z uphold the integrity of India? I now hand over the proceedings to Vishwesh Tiwari, who will be the interviewer.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Vishwesh Tiwari from class 11th, and today we are celebrating the 73rd Republic Day. This day marks the establishment of its constitution, the symbol of its integrity, and the pillar of its ideals. The nation on this Republic Day wants to know Is the Generation Z capable of upholding the integrity of India? To answer this question, joining us are Arnav Jaitley, Sarthak Agarwal, Divyansh Bansal, Anya Singh, Bhagyashri Gupta, Anika Dubey, and Flora Dikshit. A panel of guests belonging to the Gen Z who will tell us how they plan to accomplish their mission of upholding India's integrity. To begin with, let's talk about one of the biggest challenges that the country faces today, gender inequality. Arnav, tell me, what is the Gen Z doing to eradicate this vice?
Thank you, Vishwesh, for this opportunity and warm welcome. It is undeniable that women play a crucial role in society. To speak how Gen Z has addressed this issue, first, social media, the biggest tool of the current generation, from combating instances of brutal harassment to fierce petitions. I'm sure you remember the Me Too movement, and from showing support online to organizing parades. The Gen Z is leading the tide of change. It is Gen Z which now utilizes the measures of positive discrimination that the Constitution encourages in favor of women.
That is very true, Arnav. The Gen Z uses social media as an awareness spreading platform as effectively as a painter wields his brush. Since we also have female representatives on this panel, we cannot do but hear from them too. Flora, what is your take on this topic?
Well said, Arnav, and thank you, Vishwesh. It is a fact that leaders today, who do not belong to the Gen Z, by the way, fail to understand the evolved meaning of female empowerment. For instance, brooms are exempted from taxation, but sanitary napkins, a very essential female health commodity, continues to be taxed. I fail to understand and wish to question even the audience today. Why is it that it is more important to keep our houses clean, much more than our body clean? Coming back to the role of Gen Z on this issue, the idea of women supporting women has finally become a reality. And for the record, I am not trying to say that we are the better gender or something, but everyone should definitely read Men Without Women by Haruki Murakami.
Women supporting women and the need for restructuring taxation. That was so insightful, Flora. Let's take up another major issue that the nation is facing today, the problem of brain drain. Anya, let's hear your views on that.
Brain drain has been in existence not just from today, Vishwesh, but from long ago. But Gen Z is bringing in the change. One of the major reasons for students going abroad was the freedom of disciplines being offered to them there. With the coming up of liberal arts universities in India itself, like Ashoka University, Jindal University, Rishi Wood, Flames University, and so many more, Indian students are flocking to them in huge numbers. We plan to stay here, utilize the facilities and our own potential for the country itself. We also voice out the need to include amalgamated disciplines even at school level as offered by the new education policy.
Yes, Anya, I agree. Gen Z is not merely complaining about the lack of infrastructure in India to flee to other countries. Rather, it is promoting interdisciplinary studies in India itself. Even we have so many Jaipurian alumni pursuing liberal arts education from India itself, right? Sarthak, would you want to add something to this?
Yes, I absolutely agree with you, Vishwesh. However, apart from studies, people also move to foreign for better jobs because this condition is also rapidly changing. We have seen Indian startups, Gen Z startups grow from nothing to nationwide sensations. Take Ola, Swiggy, and Lenskart, for example. These startups hire more from Gen Z than any other age group. It is because of the innovative and tech-savvy Gen Z approach. With the growing startup-friendly environment in India, Gen Z is rapidly transforming the brain drain statistics.
You're spot on, Sarthak. I, for one, can witness the changes in the trends. Trends, modernization, and innovation always go hand in hand, right? Speaking of innovation, I would like Anika to talk about that. Anika, please elaborate more on the need for innovation in upholding the integrity of India.
Vishwesh, innovation is what Gen Z is best at and what is needed the most to uphold an economy. Gen Z expresses its ingenuity through ideas like freelancing and shifting between cooperation to gain new experiences. With this generation coming up, I believe we will have markets with more risk takers, talents, and people with more customer-friendly approaches. Gen Z is definitely leading towards an easier and flexible market.
Well said, Anika. Freelancing and job shifting is the trend today. And Gen Z have been effective in making this possible. Let's talk about financial literacy now. Sarthak, what is it about and how is Gen Z related to it?
The urge to obtain financial literacy and become financially independent is on the rise among Gen Z. The Gen Z is both enthusiastic about this field and well read about its nuances. This is very much evident by the fact that Gen Z choose savings over income. Furthermore, they also choose the safety of fixed deposits over the volatility of cryptocurrencies, showing their clear favor for stability over windfall. An investment, which is the key to a growing and healthy economy, is thus best practiced by Gen Z.
Safe financial practices will surely lead to a great economy. Well said, Sarthak. It is a common notion that fundamental duties are merely limited to the pages of the Constitution, since people do not take them seriously because of their non-enforceable nature. However, Bhagyashree has some views contrary to this. Over to you, Bhagyashree.
Over the course of history, fundamental duties have never been granted their due importance. And since, as you mentioned, Vishwesh, they are not legally enforceable, however, I come here to establish the fact that Gen Z does realize their importance and helps to promote them. Remember our buddy interaction project and class canteens, which were a student-led initiative for our non-student friends. Now, by being sensitive ourselves and making others sensitive, and also by the funds raised in school faith, we followed our fundamental duty 11, which is to provide education to all the students between 6 to 14 years of age. Hence, we are here not just to talk by words, but also by our actions.
Promotion of fundamental duties is definitely crucial for the advancement of the Gen Z agenda. We have some panelists here who are staunchly of the opinion that for our country to grow, the youth has to have a say in the governance of our nation. Let's hear it from them. Devyansh, what are your thoughts on this?
Thank you, Vishwesh, for this opportunity. When we speak of ground level politics, the young Bhakti Sharma, who was well off working a high paying job in the US, comes to mind. She quit that job, came back to India, got elected as the Sarpanch, and changed the entire picture of her village. Another example of younger leaders coming up is Tejasvi Surya, who got elected to the Lok Sabha at just 28 years of age, just 3 years more than the eligibility age. Such young leaders always stand up for what they believe in. And that is the kind of iron-willed attitude that the youth brings in. They are inspirations to the Gen Z and they pave us the way to follow.
Well said. People like Bhakti Sharma and Chavi Rajawat are inspirations to the Gen Z. Picking up from the same thought, apart from striving for positions of power in politics to be able to make a change, how else can Gen Z play a role in the political field in order to uphold the integrity of India? Arnav, please share your thoughts on this.
Thank you, Vishwesh. Voters who belong to the Gen Z fulfill their responsibility by making full use of their privilege and voting on the basis of the candidate. Yes, I mean the candidate and not merely his party. They are the ones who have highlighted the need to shift from promises of political parties to analysis of past policies. Even the non-voters of the Gen Z can contribute by spreading awareness and encouraging this radical change of thought. Only then is an electoral reform possible in reality. And the best part is that this can be done through social media and other networking platforms.
So we've established that the participation of youth in governance is key to our growth as a nation. And to aid this participation, we need a whole lot of reforms in the existing political machinery. Flora, how else can Gen Z play a role in transforming the election process in India to make it better?
Right. Speaking of electoral reforms, one thing we need to look at is the possibility of e-voting in future. Utopian as this may sound today because of the vulnerabilities of internet as a system we all know, it may be possible to develop an advanced, well-protected system to make e-voting a living reality so that we can actually implement political equality by giving even the migrant laborers an opportunity to participate in the home elections, as well as the elderly at home. Gen Z, which is the generation of coders, takes deep interest in looking at this as a possible reality and can be instrumental in working towards the same. Not only e-voting, Vishwesh, but also the process preceding voting, like the formation of voter cards, etc., needs to be streamlined and made customer friendly. And tell me, who better to do that than the Gen Z itself?
Well, it is the job of the Gen Z to bring such reforms. With this, we come to the end of this panel discussion. We started out with one question today: whether the Gen Z is actually capable of upholding India's integrity. And hands down, we can now say that Gen Z does have a very important role to play and does have the required skill set and the potential to achieve the goal that is upholding the integrity of our nation. From positive female empowerment to understanding the essence of fundamental duties, from reversing the tide of brain drain through liberal education to using innovation for the growth of the economy, and from promoting youth participation to suggesting practical changes in the electoral structure, our panelists have presented the much needed opinion on less talked about topics and left us with a lot of food for thought. On this Republic, as students and parts of the Gen Z, we promise to promise ourselves to uphold our ideals and the integrity of this nation and bring about the change we wish to see in the world. Thank you so much for your time, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Vishwesh Tiwari, signing off. Bharat Mata Ki Jai.
Vishwesh and all the panelists, this was something so new to be done on Republic Day. It was very well written, very well, very beautifully put together. Really, really proud of you guys.
I hope all your questions have been well answered now. Thank you, everyone. Music serves as the food for the soul. Patriotism and music have been blended together in countless melodies, which ignites a spark within. We now have Vinayak Singh of Class 4B for one such melodious rendition of the soul-stirring song, We Salute Our Flag.
The flag for the colors that it bears. We salute the flag for the legends that it bears. For tales of plenty going and nested stone and grave. We salute the flag. It's a tribute to the brave. We salute the flag for the colors that it wears. We salute the flag for the legends that it bears. For it is fighting to uphold the country free. We salute the flag as it answers to run. We salute the flag for the colors that it wears. We salute the flag for the legends that it bears. For respect to the purpose and grandeur not above. We salute the flag and the praise stone and heart. We salute the flag for the colors that it wears. We salute the flag for the legends that it bears. For the legends that it bears. For the legends that it bears.
Thank you, Vinayak. Owing to India's vastness and diversity, Indian music encompasses numerous genres in multiple varieties and forms, which includes classical music, Carnatic music, dhamar, dhrupad, khayal, and rag. We now have Anish Aryan Singh of class 9G, who will be playing a qaida of the Lucknow Gharana on his tabla.
Sorry.
is all exalted and full of unfathomable emotions after hearing these soulful pieces. Thank you so much. तैरना है तो समुंदर में तैरो, नदी नालों में क्या ही रखा है, प्यार करना है तो इस वतन से करो, इस बेवफा लोगों में क्या रखा है। अब हम कक्षा 12वीं की ऐशना सिंह को गणतंत्र दिवस के अवसर पर 2 शब्द कहने के लिए आमंत्रित करते हैं।
धन्यवाद मेहुल। आज यहाँ मौजूद विद्यालय की वाइस चेयरपर्सन प्रिंसिपल मैम आशा चड्ढा मैम, वाइस प्रिंसिपल सर विनय पांडे सर, रश्मि सिंह मैम, टीचर्स, पेरेंट्स और मेरे प्यारे साथियों, सभी को मेरा नमस्ते। मेरा नाम ऐशनाई सिंह है और मैं एक भारतीय हूँ। मुझे अपनी नागरिकता बताते हुए गर्व होता है, क्योंकि आपकी तरह मैं भी जिस देश से हूँ, वह देश दुनिया की सबसे पुरानी सभ्यताओं में से एक है, जिसमें बहुरंगी विविधता और समृद्ध सांस्कृतिक विरासत है। इसके साथ ही यह अपने आप को बदलते समय के साथ ढालता भी है। आजादी पाने के बाद भारत ने बहुआयामी सामाजिक और आर्थिक प्रगति की है। हमारा देश अन्य देशों से कैसे अलग है और दुनिया में इतने आधुनिक और विकसित देश होने के बावजूद भी भारत का नाम विश्व के मुकम्मल देशों में क्यों आता है? ये बात सच है कि हमारा देश आज भी गरीबी, भ्रष्टाचार जैसी समस्याओं से लड़ रहा है। ये सच है कि आज भी हमारे देश की महिलाओं की स्थिति, देश की स्वास्थ्य प्रणाली काफी कमजोर है। परंतु हमारा देश और हमारे देश के नागरिक कभी भी संघर्ष करने से पीछे नहीं हटते, उम्मीद नहीं छोड़ते और इसीलिए हमारा भारत भाईचारा और करुणा का सटीक उदाहरण है। भारत में महापुरुषों से लेकर स्वतंत्रता संग्राम सेनानियों से लेकर आज के नौजवानों में जो जोश है, जो दृढ़ता है, वो अतुलनीय है। गत वर्ष में हमारे सामने एक बड़े अवरोध के रूप में महामारी आकर खड़ी थी, लेकिन हम सबने मिलकर 125 करोड़ टीकाकरण पूर्ण किए। भारत दुनिया की सबसे प्रगतिशील अर्थव्यवस्था बना, फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग इकोसिस्टम का दर्जा हासिल किया, साथ ही साथ दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी डिजिटल मार्केट बना। और मुझे यह बताते हुए गर्व होता है कि अब बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ के अंतर्गत हर 1000 लड़कों में 1020 लड़कियों का जन्म हो रहा है। जहां नीरज चोपड़ा ने ओलंपिक में स्वर्ण पदक लाकर देश का गौरव बढ़ाया, वहीं हरनाज संधू ने 21 सालों के बाद मिस वर्ल्ड का ताज देश वापस लाई। हमारे देश ने आपदा को अवसर में परिवर्तित करने के लिए कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ी। यह देश अनेकता में एकता का प्रतीक होने के साथ साथ समस्त विश्व के लिए अनगिनत क्षेत्रों में उदाहरणात्मक है। और इस विविधता के बावजूद भी हम सबको एक चीज जो बांधकर एक प्रगतिशील देश के रूप में रखती है, वो है हमारा गणतंत्र। गणतंत्र वह शासन प्रणाली है जिसमें प्रमुख सत्ता लोग या जनता के चुने हुए प्रतिनिधियों या अधिकारियों के हाथ में होती है और जिसकी नीति निर्धारित करने का सभी लोगों को समान रूप से अधिकार होता है। हर धर्म, हर वर्ग का यहाँ एक सा सम्मान है। सबको जोड़कर रखने वाला अपना संविधान है। साल 1950 में भारत का संविधान लागू किया गया था। स्वतंत्र गणराज्य बनने और देश में कानून का राज स्थापित करने के लिए 26 नवंबर 1949 को भारतीय संविधान सभा ने संविधान अपनाया था। 26 जनवरी 1950 को संविधान को लोकतांत्रिक सरकार प्रणाली के साथ लागू किया गया। इस दिन भारत को पूर्ण गणतंत्र घोषित किया गया। आप सभी को विश्व के सबसे बड़े गणतंत्र के 73वें गणतंत्र दिवस की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। अंत में मैं बस कुछ पंक्तियों से अपना भाषण समाप्त करूंगी। ये बात हवाओं को बताए रखना, ये बात हवाओं को बताए रखना, रोशनी होगी चिरागों को जलाए रखना। लहू देकर जिसकी हिफाजत हमने की, ऐसे तिरंगे को सदा दिल में बसाए रखना, सदा दिल में बसाए रखना। भारत माता की जय, वंदे मातरम।
Thank you, Vaishnav, for reminding us how India is the perfect example of a nation that turns every obstacle into a stepping stone because of its unbreakable brotherhood and strength. Within our singing, we tell stories, rejoice in our God, disseminate religious doctrine, and even become a vehicle for spiritual energy and healing. Singers have always been the mirrors of the time, and to do the same at this juncture, I now invite Siddhi Mishra of class 4D to delight us with her soulful voice.
कोटि कोटि कंठों ने गाया माँ का गौरव गान है, कोटि कोटि कंठों ने गाया माँ का गौरव गान है। एक रहे हैं एक रहेंगे भारत की संतान है, कोटि कोटि कंठों ने गाया माँ का गौरव गान है। एक रहे हैं एक रहेंगे भारत की संतान है। समझाएंगे नादानों को सोया देश जगाएंगे, दुश्मन के नापाक इरादे जड़ से काट मिटाएंगे। आ, समझाएंगे नादानों को सोया देश जगाएंगे, दुश्मन के नापाक इरादे जड़ से काट मिटाएंगे। भारत भाग्य विधाता हम हैं, भारत भाग्य विधाता हम हैं, जन जन की आवाज है। भारत भाग्य विधाता हम हैं, जन जन की आवाज है। एक रहे हैं एक रहेंगे भारत की संतान है, कोटि कोटि कंठों ने गाया माँ का गौरव गान है। एक रहे हैं एक रहेंगे भारत की संतान है, एक रहे हैं एक रहेंगे भारत की संतान है। एक रहे हैं एक रहेंगे भारत की संतान है। Thank you.
Thank you for the captivating and mellifluous performance, Siddhi. Next up, we have Manjia Bhola to shroud this august gathering in a wave of pride and allegiance to our nation with the Kafi Thaat Rag, Brindavani Sarang.
Thank you, Manjya. A marvelous performance indeed. Ours is a land of sages, known for bravery for ages. None can compete with it. Its culture, none can beat. Whatever caste or religion, all live here in unison. With rivers, sweet fountains, it is a land of high mountains. Its green forests are pretty and are a source of prosperity. Let us work hard for its safety, be on guard. We now have Sarthak Agarwal of class 11B for an English speech, fueled by a patriotic zeal and love for the nation.
Good morning to one and all present here today. I am Sarthak Agarwal of class 11th B. Subhash Chandra Bose said, and I quote, "Freedom is not given, it is taken." India could have been independent in the year 1939. India could have avoided the decimating war of partition, which sacrificed the lives of millions of Indians. Yet such a hollow victory would have been a costly one. And this was understood by the great leaders of our country. After centuries of constant struggle and tribulation, struggled by the iron-willed Indians, victory was in sight. The British Empire could no longer extinguish the ferocious fire within and had to give ground. As the last gambit, they offered an inciting offer that promised to fulfill all the dreams and hopes that Indians have fought so hard for, but on the condition that India becomes a dominion of the Great Britain. It was an inciting offer, as India would have its own constitution and regulations. It would have control over its own destiny. And the biggest incitement, it would end the grueling war which had taken and martyred millions of Indians already. We could have taken the offer. Yet calm minds prevailed and we fought on. How could the unswerving and resolute Mother India stop at nothing short of Purna Swaraj, full and complete independence? For the British were offering liberty, but the fine print said otherwise. The laws would have been made by Indians, but the final say would have been with the British Parliament. The heads of states would have been Indians, yet the sovereignty would have been with the Great Britain and its monarch. Indians would have been in charge of all fields of governance, yet the ringleader would have been Great Britain. After half a decade of fight, millions more of sacrifices, and a nation divided into parts, only did we get our full and complete independence. For we gave our constitution, formed by the most acclaimed Indians of the time, the power of sovereignty. We vested the highest authority of our nation in the constitutional principles, an amalgamation of all that the people of those times hoped for the new India. And the president was given the duty to delegate. And thus, Republic Day is celebrated separately. For Indians first fought for freedom, then for Purna Swaraj. We fought for a sovereign, democratic Republic of India. We could have had an easier victory, but we fought for a brighter future. Bharat Mata ki jai.
Excellent.
Thank you very much, Sarthak. You've rightly reminded us of what we've fought to arrive at where we are today. What should be the shout out of an Indian heart? Give me freedom, give me fire, give me reason, take me higher. Isn't it? We now have Akshat Kumar Jain of class 10th B to uplift our hearts and soul.
Give me freedom, give me fire, give me reason, take me higher. See the champions take the field now. You define us, make us feel proud. In the streets our heads are lifted as we lose our inhibition. Celebration, it's around us. Complete nation all around us, singing forever young. singing songs underneath the sun. Let's rejoice in the beautiful day, and together all the end of the day, we all say, when I get older, I will be stronger. They'll call me freedom, just like a wave. When I get older, I will be stronger. They'll call me freedom, just like a waving flag. So wave your flag, no wave your flag, no wave your flag. Oh, 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 oh. Give you freedom, give you fire, give you reason, take you higher. See the champions take the field now. You define us, make us feel proud. In the streets our heads are lifting as we lose our inhibition. Celebration, it's around us. Complete nation all around us, singing forever young. Singing songs underneath the sun. Let's rejoice in the beautiful day, and together at the end of the day, we all say, when I get older, I will be stronger. They'll call me freedom, just like the wave. And when I get older, I will be stronger. They'll call me freedom, just like the waving flag. So wave your flag, no 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 wave your flag. Oh.
Thank you for charming us all with your melody, Akshat. Music has a history spanning several millennia and has developed over several geolocations spanning the subcontinent. We now have the skilled instrumentalist Jayesh Khare of class 11th A to help us connect with the divine through the euphonious chords of his keyboard. For successful change and progress, it's not enough for discontent to be present in the air. What is required is a profound and thorough conviction of the necessity, justice, and importance of political and social rights. And no one understood and believed in these thoughts more than the father of our Constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He lived by these principles as he fought the pangs of discrimination and emerged as a true fighter against prejudice based on caste. We now invite Riddhi Kalra, Suhani Singh, Yuvakshi Rastogi, Bhagyashri Gupta, and Devanshi Srivastav to present before you a skit based on the foundations of religions that speak volumes of liberty, equality, and fraternity.
आंसू की बूंद अनकही बातें कह जाती है, छोटी जात वालों में सभी का दर्द एक बूढ़ी औरत के अपनी बेटी खो देने के दर्द में दिखा। हे राम,
काकी, आप क्यों रो रही
उन्होंने
हैं?
मेरी बेटी को मार डाला।
क्या किया था काकी उसने?
क्योंकि वो अपनी जात छुपाकर नौकरी कर रही थी।
यह गलत है काकी, हमें भगवान ने ही ऐसे बनाया है।
गलत? ऐसा क्या गलत किया उसने? वो अपनी जात छुपाकर नौकरी ही तो कर रही थी। अरे हम छोटी जात वालों को कोई नौकरी नहीं देता। अगर वो अपनी जात छुपाकर ही नौकरी कर रही थी और अपने परिवार का पालन पोषण ही करना चाह रही थी, तो इसमें गलत क्या है?
यह आप लोग सही नहीं कर रहे हैं। खाक लड़ रहे लोग सब, पूछ पूछ कर जात, राम खुद हैरान हैं। कितने नाजुक हैं हालात।
समय बीतता रहा। बाबा साहेब की शिक्षा यूएस में अब पूरी हो गई। वह लंदन जाना चाहते थे, लेकिन बड़ौदा के एक दीवान ने उन्हें भारत वापस बुला लिया। आंखों में एक नए समाज का सपना लिए बाबा साहेब बड़ौदा पहुंचे, लेकिन समाज के खिलाफ लड़ने के लिए उनकी शिक्षा काफी नहीं थी। एक एक कर हर होटल ने उन्हें अछूत बोलकर कमरा देने से इनकार कर दिया और बाबा साहेब के हृदय में आशा का दीपक बुझने की कगार पर आ गया। अंत में उन्हें एक फारसी गेस्ट हाउस में रहने लायक जगह मिल गई, लेकिन मिली भी तो अपनी पहचान छुपाकर। कैसे होते हैं हम मनुष्य? किसी व्यक्ति को जात के नाम पे इतना पीड़ित कर देते हैं कि वही मनुष्य अपनी जात को श्राप मानने लगता है।
दीवान के यहाँ ऑफिस के एक कोने में बाबा साहेब का डेस्क था। जैसे ही बाबा साहब ऑफिस आते, पीएम कालीन मोड़ देता था ताकि उनके अछूत कदमों से कालीन प्रदूषित ना हो जाए। आखिर वह दिन भी आ ही गया जिस दिन गेस्ट हाउस वालों को उनकी जात के बारे में पता चल गया। उन्हें बिना कोई समय दिए गेस्ट हाउस से बाहर निकाल दिया गया। शहर में कोई भी उन्हें अपने घर में जगह देने को तैयार न था। उस दिन बाबा साहेब ने सड़क के किनारे खड़े खड़े यह निश्चय किया कि वह सिर्फ देश की स्वतंत्रता नहीं परंतु समाज की स्वतंत्रता भी पाकर रहेंगे।
कुछ समय बिताने पर बाबा साहेब लंदन चले गए। वहां पूरी निष्ठा से उन्होंने शिक्षा प्राप्त की एवं बैरिस्टर की डिग्री हासिल की। भारत वापस लौटने पर उन्होंने बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट से वकालत की और हर क्षण दलित शिक्षा को बढ़ावा दिया। 1927 में उन्होंने दलितों के अधिकार के लिए क्रांति करने का निश्चय किया। बाबा साहेब ने जातिवाद का विरोध करते हुए सभी के लिए एक जलपै के लिए महाड़ में सत्याग्रह भी किया।
बाबा साहेब ने भारत से जातिवाद जैसी क्रूर प्रथा को समाप्त करने के लिए पग पग पर अनेक चुनौतियों का सामना किया है और इसी प्रकार वह इतिहास के पन्नों पर अपनी अमिट छाप छोड़ गए हैं। भारतीय संविधान जाति भेद, लिंग भेद और कई रूढ़ियों के परे है। इसके जरिए ही सारे हिंदुस्तान ने अपने भाग्य का चुनाव स्वयं किया है। डॉक्टर भीमराव अंबेडकर जैसी महान हस्तियों के संघर्षों का स्मरण करना भी गणतंत्र दिवस मनाने के उद्देश्यों में से एक है। धन्यवाद।
January 26 gives us the opportunity to reaffirm our faith in the principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity. It is in these ideas that we need to place our feet in and look towards the horizon of the future. And this skit has impeccably portrayed these thoughts. Thank you, everyone. The occasion of 26 January begs us to look at the troubles of the present and tackle them with the renewed enthusiasm that this day fills us with. This Republic Day to bring forward the idea of our India instead of a my India or a your India. We now have a student-organized house performance. First up, we have the House of Perfection. It is the very concoction of attributes such as orderliness, skill, perseverance, and diligence. The house makes us realize that limitations exist only in our minds and invokes the spirit of an indomitable will in every soul. It abhors carelessness, negligence, and indolence. The house abounds in laborious and hardworking individuals for whom no task is too small or apparently trivial. The house itself speaks volumes of the fact that learning is not attained by chance. It must be sought for with ardor.
Indian Constitution. The soul of India is its constitution, its light, path, direction, and foundation. A child of foresight of Ambedkar, a great edifice raised with love and care. After truly many great mental wars, the light of nations' life process, its strife, life, subtle shifts under stress. Indian Constitution guides India forward to be the leading nation of the world. The laws and rules that uplift all people sprout from the womb of a good constitution. Welfare of its all citizen is its primary concern, who limits by the constitution a good citizen, who never regrets his faith in the constitution.
Constitution is not a mere lawyer's document. It is a vehicle of life, and its spirit is always the spirit of age. Our republic has many national icons. Rajendra Prasad, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Jawaharlal Nehru, B.R. Ambedkar, Maulana Azad, Govind Ballabh Pant, Aladi Krishnaswamy and K.M. Munshi. Beyond this inner circle, however, there are hundreds of unsung fighters who have made important contributions to the Republic's creation.
The Constitution of India is the lengthiest, most diverse constitution of the world. The country is a unique blend of the federal system and the unitary feature. We have the division of powers in our country among the legislature, the executive and the judiciary for peace, promotion of law and order, among various other aspects that contribute in making India the country she is.
When we talk about the Constituent Assembly, it is essential that we throw light on the 15 women who were involved in the construction of the Constitution. Out of all these stunning women, the one that I am very proud to call my idol is Rajkumari Amrit Kaur. She was the first feminist activist of Free India and was responsible for inclusion of Uniform Civil Code and gender equality in the Constitution. She was India's first health minister and was the first female and first Asian president of World Health Assembly. She also established AIIMS, which is now the country's topmost medical university.
नमस्कार। बाबा साहब डॉक्टर भीमराव अंबेडकर ने अपने 26 जनवरी 1949 के भाषण में कुछ अहम बातें कही थी, जिसमें से एक थी, कोई संविधान कितना भी अच्छा क्यों ना हो, वह बुरा साबित होगा अगर उसे मानने का काम अच्छे लोगों को नहीं सौंपा गया है। संविधान कितना भी बुरा क्यों ना हो, वो अच्छा साबित होगा अगर उसे मानने का काम अच्छे लोगों को सौंपा गया है। उनके ये शब्द सिर्फ एक सलाह नहीं थे, एक चेतावनी थे।
The day when the Constitution of India was enforced legally, the day when the world got its longest constitution, the day when my motherland was declared a sovereign, secular, socialist democratic republic, the day when all citizens were assured justice, equality, liberty and fraternity. Today is that day, Republic Day of India. Wish you all a very happy Republic Day. Bharat Mata ki Jai.
Impossible to deny that these performances were the very embodiment of elegance and devotion towards one's country. Next up, we have the House of Strength. The house is the very incarnation of courage, nobility, swiftness, and straightforwardness. Its motions are like the aspirations which mount on the flame of valor. The strength of character and spirit has the ability to overcome any sabotaging fear with determination. The house believes in the philosophy that an unwavering will is the secret of success.
जो संविधान है, हर भारतवासी का अभिमान है। जाति धर्म से ऊपर उठकर सोचना होगा, संविधान की भाषा मिलकर सबको बोलना होगा। नमस्कार, मैं अदिति सिंह कक्षा 11C की छात्रा हूं। आज हमारे देश को गणतंत्र हुए 73 वर्ष बीत चुके हैं। फिर भी हमारे दिलों में सभी क्रांतिकारियों एवं देशभक्तों की अमिट छाप तरोताजा है। प्रस्तुत हैं उनमें से कुछ प्रस्तुतियां। अब आपके सामने रिद्धि कालरा कक्षा 10A की छात्रा मणिकर्णिका के रूप में उनके भावों को, आदित्य कसौधन कक्षा 11F के छात्र गांधी जी के विचारों को, नव्या शर्मा जो कि कक्षा 10B की छात्रा हैं, सरोजनी नायडू के भावों को तथा विदित टंडन कक्षा 10B के छात्र भगत सिंह की देश के प्रति उनकी भावनाओं को आपके सामने प्रस्तुत करने जा रहे हैं।
मैं मणिकर्णिका तात्या तोपे की मनु और आपकी रानी लक्ष्मीबाई यह प्रतिज्ञा करती हूँ कि जब तक मेरे शरीर में रक्त की आखिरी बूंद है, मैं झांसी की रक्षा करूंगी। हमारी संस्कृति में पहले शांति और फिर क्रांति को जगह दी गई है। झांसी वह भी चाहते हैं और हम भी, बस फर्क इतना है, वह राज करना चाहते हैं और हम सेवा। जब बेटी खड़ी होती है तभी जीत बड़ी होती है।
हिंदुस्तान ऐसा बने जिससे सारी दुनिया कहे कि अगर आजाद बनना है तो हिंदुस्तान जैसे बने।
It has taken more than 20 centuries to evolve. But if in one word, before the signal goes up for me to stop being a cinema star, and I say what my country says to you, it says in the words of your Hindu friend that rises in every home, night after night. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.
उस आजाद भारत का सपना जो हमने देखा है वो जरूर पूरा होगा, जहां कोई किसी का गुलाम नहीं होगा। हवा, पानी, फसलें सब पे सबका बराबर का हक होगा। जात पात को लेकर कोई खून खराबा नहीं होगा। हर धर्म, हर मजहब, हर जाति के लोग एक ही आसमान के नीचे खुली हवा में सुरक्षा की सांस ले पाएंगे और वही होगा सही मायने में आजाद भारत, सुनहरा भारत, हमारा भारत। इनकलाब जिंदाबाद।
What an incredible performance. Hats off. Yato hastata drishti rajya, yato drishti manasthiti, yato mana bhavam rajyo, yato hasta avastha. With the belief in the above shloka, we now have a Kathak dance performance as a tribute to the spirit and strength of the common people of India during these unprecedented times.
जयतु जयतु भारतम् जयतु भारतम विश्व प्रेम की बाढ़ चदरिया जगा हुआ भारत विश्व प्रेम की ओढ़ चदरिया विश्व प्रेम की ओढ़ चदरिया सच्चे सुर में गाता है एक सुरीली आशा लेकर सूरज नए उगाता है जाना हुआ भारत है ये, जाना हुआ भारत है ये, जय भारतम वसुधैव कुटुम्बकम भारतम जय भारतम न्याय न्याय लिख दे तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय अंधकार को जीते मन यही प्रार्थना करता भारत विजयी भव मानव जीवन विश्व प्रेम की ओर विश्व प्रेम की ओर चदरिया जय
Indeed, an awe-inspiring dance by all the performers. Thank you very much. The principles of compassion, inclusivity, and pluralism have been enshrined in our hearts by Mother India, and we need to understand that honest partnership and an empathetic approach towards all brethren is the way forward. With this thought in mind, we now continue with the house presentations. We now have the House of Wisdom. This house encapsulates the spirit of knowledge, truth, and equanimity, which has the power to sublimate the mind into largeness. Standing on the foundation that patience and fortitude conquer all things, the house's spirit is all about giving the wise a greater and luminous wisdom, imposing the consequences of hostility on the hostile ones, and leading the ignorant according to their own blindness.
Universal Declaration of Human Rights said, all men are born free and equal. Now the document reads, all human beings are born free and equal. Though the change in the text now may seem insignificant, it was once a struggle for a woman to be seen as equal to men. I am proud to tell you that it was in fact an Indian woman that had a monumental impact on the way world perceives women. Her name was Hansa Jivraj Mehta. Moreover, she also organized the gifting of shops selling foreign goods. On November 22, 1949, the members of Constituent Assembly sat in a semicircle under the Parliament Dome. As each member spoke, Hansa Mehta said, I am presenting the symbol of a freedom. We once more offer our services to the nation. She pledged to work for a great India to build up a nation among nations. This comment was indelible marker of Hansa Mehta and her wisdom, equality, fraternity, which I hold back being a student of Wisdom House. Bharat Mata Ki Jai.
Innumerable men and women participated in the wars of independence and led us to breathe in a sovereign India. Among the many brave and incredible ladies was Rajkumari Amrit Kaur. After the independence, she went on to become the first Health Minister of India and the first woman to hold a cabinet rank. She pioneered the establishment of the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, which we know as AIIMS, and went on to become its first president ever. When India transformed into an independent nation, malaria was in a killing spree. Despite the tension caused by the epidemic throughout the country, Kaur remained equanimous, and with great tranquility and credible management, she handled the situation well. The pages of history celebrate Amrit Kaur's determination to drive out the British, her feminist zeal, and also the many contributions she made to the health infrastructure. Mata ki jai.
Jaipal Singh was born on 3 January 1903 in modern-day Ranchi in Bihar. Singh bemoaned the lack of tribal representation in the Constituent Assembly, especially the lack of a single tribal woman member. He argued that legislative intervention is imperative to raise the Adivasi community's social, economic and educational standards to that of the general population. Further, he wanted Adivasis to be given reservation in the legislature. Highlighting the troubled history of the exploitation and dispossession of the Adivasi people, Singh hoped that independent India would offer a new chapter for the people, an India where there is equality of opportunity, where no one would be neglected. He represented the quality of wideness of heart. He asked for increased representation of an oppressed class and with this sought to defeat narrow-minded notions and introduce wideness into the hearts of others. Jai Hind.
वो खुद ही तय करते हैं मंजिल आसमानों की, परिंदों को नहीं दी जाती तालीम उड़ानों की, वो जिनमें हौसला स्वदेश को उन्नत करने का, उन्हें नहीं करना कभी भेजा। This is what rightly states the character of Shri Prem Bihari Narayan Raizadaji, who has handwritten the Constitution of India. Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru was the person who presented the proposal of handwriting the Constitution in formal italic writing to this great calligrapher. And what Mr. Bihari asked in return from him was just that he would write his name on each page of the Constitution and his name along with his grandfather's name on the last page. It took him 6 months to complete writing the Constitution, which was 251 pages and weighed 3.75 kilograms. But not even for a single day did he panic or procrastinate. This goes to show his patience, determination and wisdom in accomplishing his task. Therefore, we should never forget leaders like Shri Prem Bihari Narayan Raizadaji, who will always remain in memory. Bharat Mata ki Jai.
Sir Benegal Narsingh Rao was the constitutional advisor for the Constituent Assembly of India. Apart from that, he was also a diplomat and a jurist. Sir B.N. Rao travelled to countries like the United States of America, Canada, Ireland and the United Kingdom to personally meet judges, scholars and intellectuals in the field of constitutional law so that he could help in preparing the constitution of one of the largest democracies of the world. Sir B.N. Rao was a staunch constitutionalist and was one of the most sought after constitution experts in India. He studied the constitutions of around 60 countries to ensure that the constitution that he was preparing did not have any flaws. Sir B.N. Rao was also instrumental in the formation of the Constitution of Burma. These facts about his life show us that he was a knowledgeable man, a man who had great command over his intellect. Bharat Mata ki Jai.
That was indeed an astounding performance by the students. And to set the bar even higher, we now have the House of Harmony. Harmony's magnetic touch has a delicate influence on the mind, life, and body. Its intoxicating sweetness and charm refines an individual and eliminates the selfishness surrounding man's heart. The house has dedicated itself to the principle that unity is strength, and when there is teamwork and collaboration, wonderful things can be achieved.
परमवीर चक्र का कांस्य रंग इसके प्राप्तकर्ता के साहस के समान चमकीला है। 32 मिलीमीटर लंबे बैंगनी रिबन द्वारा आयोजित एक घुमावदार बार से परिपत्र पदक जोड़ा गया है।
सर्वोच्च सैन्य अलंकरण माने जाने वाले पदक परमवीर चक्र का डिजाइन भारत की रक्षा और देशभक्ति के लोकाचार को समाहित करता है।
परंतु एक दिलचस्प बात जानते हैं आप, इस देशभक्ति के प्रतीक को एक विदेशी महिला ने डिजाइन किया था।
इवॉन मैडी डी मारोस का जन्म 1913 में स्विट्जरलैंड के न्यू चैटेल में हुआ था।
एक समग्र शिक्षा ने उन्हें भारत की आध्यात्मिक और सांस्कृतिक संपदा से परिचित कराया। इस रुचि के संयोग से एक मराठी के साथ मिलने का मौका मिला, जिससे उन्हें एक किशोरी के रूप में प्यार हो गया।
अधिकारी से शादी करके जो बाद में मेजर जनरल बन गया, ईव युवान महाराष्ट्र में स्थानांतरित हो गई और 1932 में सावित्रीबाई खानोलकर नाम अपना लिया।
मैं तुरंत देश के इतिहास से अपनी पहचान बना ली और भारतीय पौराणिक कथाओं, परंपराओं और धार्मिक शास्त्रों के अध्ययन में डूब गई।
ऐसी समर्पित शिक्षा जल्द ही फलीभूत हुई, क्योंकि उस समय भारत का विद्वान वर्ग देश की पहचान को फिर से स्थापित करने के लिए ज्ञान प्राप्त कर रहा था।
जब एडजुटेंट जनरल हीरालाल अटल को ब्रिटिश विक्टोरिया क्रॉस के भारतीय समकक्ष बनाने का काम सौंपा गया, तो उन्होंने सावित्रीबाई को राष्ट्र के गहन ज्ञान के लिए विश्वास पात्र माना।
यह डिजाइन सैनिकों द्वारा प्रदर्शित शक्ति एवं बलिदान का प्रतिनिधित्व करने के लिए था, जिन्होंने लोगों को उनके जीवन की कीमत पर संरक्षित किया और करते हैं।
सावित्रीबाई के अनुसार महान योद्धा छत्रपति शिवाजी के अलावा कुछ भी इसका प्रतिनिधित्व नहीं कर सकता था। यही कारण है कि उनकी तलवार भवानी को इस पदक पर एक जगह मिली, जो दोनों तरफ से भारतीय पौराणिक हथियार वज्र के भीतर घिरी हुई थी।
2018 तक ये मेडल 21 जाबाजों को प्रदान किया जा चुका है। हम उनकी और सभी सैनिकों की बहादुरी को सलाम करते हैं।
यह परंपरा का प्रवाह है, कभी न खंडित होगा। यह परंपरा का प्रवाह है, कभी न खंडित होगा। पुत्रों के बल पर ही माँ का मस्तक मंडित होगा। वह कपूत है जिसके रहते माँ की दीन दशा हो। वह कपूत है जिसके रहते माँ की दीन दशा हो। शत भाई का घर उजाड़ता जिसका महल बसा हो। अरे घर का दीपक व्यर्थ, मातृ मंदिर में जब अंधियारा। अरे कैसा हास विलास की जब तक बना हुआ बंटवारा। किस बेटे ने माँ के टुकड़े करके दीप जलाए। अरे किस बेटे ने माँ के टुकड़े करके दीप जलाए। किसने भाई की समाधि पर अनगिन महल बनाए। चिता भस्म पर किसने सुख के स्वर्णिम साज सजाए। अरे किसने लाखों के विनाश पर जय के वाद्य बजाए। किस कपूत ने पूत पंचनद को कर डाला लाल। अरे किसके पापों का प्रतिफल है भोग रहा बंगाल। किस कपूत ने पूत पंचनद को कर डाला लाल। अरे किसके पापों का प्रतिफल है भोग रहा बंगाल। किसने आग लगाकर अपने घर में किया उजाला। किसने निज का सुख खरीद माँ का विक्रय कर डाला। शस्य श्यामला स्वर्ण भूमि क्यों हुई आज कंगाल। किसके कारण देवभूमि में आज अभाव अकाल। जग जननी ने भीख मांगने का दुर्दिन क्यों देखा। जग जननी ने भीख मांगने का दुर्दिन क्यों देखा। पुत्रों के पापों का फल है यह नियति का लेखा। सूर्य घिर गया अंधकार में ठोकर खाकर। सूर्य घिर गया अंधकार में ठोकर खाकर। और भीख मांगता है कुबेर झोली फैलाकर। कण कण को मोहताज करने का देश हो गया। माँ का आंचल द्रुपद सुता का केश हो गया। कण कण को मोहताज करने का देश हो गया। माँ का आंचल द्रुपद सुता का केश हो गया। जब तक अधरों में न भीम की शोणित प्यास जगेगी। जब तक अधरों में न भीम की शोणित प्यास जगेगी, तब तक उर्से अपमानों की ज्वाला नहीं बुझेगी। तब तक उर्से अपमानों की ज्वाला नहीं बुझेगी।
गुजरने वाली हवा बता, मेरा इतना काम करेगी क्या। मेरे गाँव जा, मेरे दोस्तों को सलाम दे। ऐ मेरी ज़बान महबूब में, मेरी नस नस में तेरा इश्क बन। ये गाना पड़े कभी रंग तेरा जिस्मों से निकल
झुककर करे सलाम उन्हें जिनके हिस्से में ये मुकाम आता है। कितने खुश नसीब है वो लोग जिनका खून वतन के काम आता है। भारत माता की जय।
मैं आप सभी को गणतंत्रता दिवस की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं देना चाहती हूं और एक यह बात आपकी दृष्टि में लाना चाहती हूं कि इन 21 जाबाजों में आज एक और जाबाज का नाम जुड़ गया है, असिस्टेंट सब इंस्पेक्टर बाबूराम जी। उनकी बहादुरी को भी हम सलाम करते हैं और प्रणाम करते हैं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Including compassion, grace, and tenderness, these performances were nothing short of perfect. Thank you, everyone. इसी गजरे की खुशबू को महकता छोड़ आया हूँ, मेरी नन्ही सी चिड़िया को महकता छोड़ आया हूँ। मुझे छाती से अपनी लगा ले ए भारत माँ, मैं अपनी माँ की बाहों को तरसता छोड़ आया हूँ। To allow the depth of these words to settle in our hearts, we now have Raghav Kesarwani of Class 8th F with his melodic rendition of Teri Mitti Mein Mil Jaun.
तलवारों पे सरवार दिए, अंगारों में जिस्म जलाया है, तब जाके कहीं हमने सर पे ये केसरी रंग सजाया है। ऐ मेरी ज़मीं अफसोस नहीं जो तेरे लिए 100 दर्द सहे, महफूज रहे तेरी आन सदा, चाहे जान मेरी ये रहे न रहे। ऐ मेरी ज़मीं महबूब मेरी, मेरी नस नस में तेरा इश्क बहे, फीका न पड़े कभी रंग तेरा, जिस मुंह से निकल के खून कहे। तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा गुल बन के मैं खिल जावा, इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। तेरी नदियों में बह जावा, तेरे खेतों में लहरावा, इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। वो सरसों से भरे कल्याण मेरे, जहाँ झूम के पंगड़ा पा न सका, आबाद रहे वो गाँव मेरा, जहाँ लौट के वापस जा न सका। ओ वतना वे मेरे वतना वे, तेरा मेरा प्यार निराला था, कुर्बान हुआ तेरी असमत पे, मैं कितना नसीबों वाला था। तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा गुल बन के मैं खिल जावा, इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। तेरी नदियों में बह जावा, तेरे खेतों में लहरावा, इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू।
The exemplary performance, Raghav. Music has a place of primacy in Indian culture. In traditional aesthetics, music is often allegorized as the food for the soul. It symbolizes India's remarkable diversity in cultural, linguistic, and religious terms, and embodies the historical tides that have shaped its contemporary pluralism. We now invite Naman Kumar, who will be playing a qaida of the Dilli Gharana on tabla. थैंक यू नमन। इस खूबसूरत प्रस्तुति के बाद हमारे दिल में जोश बनाए रखने के लिए आ रही हैं कक्षा 8C की छात्रा आदित्रि सिंह।
भारत वंदे मातरम, जय भारत वंदे मातरम, भारत वंदे मातरम, जय भारत वंदे मातरम। भारत वंदे मातरम, जय भारत वंदे मातरम। रुक ना पाए तूफानों में सबके आगे बढ़े कदम, रुक ना पाए तूफानों में सबके आगे बढ़े कदम। जीवन पुष्प चढ़ाने निकले माता के चरणों में हम, माता के चरणों में हम। जय भारत माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय भारत माँ। भारत वंदे मातरम, जय भारत वंदे मातरम। मस्तक पर हिमराज विराजिती उन्नत माथा माता का, चरण धो रहा विशाल सागर देश यही सुंदरता का। हरियाली साड़ी पहनी माँ, गीत तुम्हारे गाए हम, गीत तुम्हारे गाए हम। जय भारत माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय भारत माँ। भारत वंदे मातरम, जय भारत वंदे मातरम।
आन बान शान हो गुमान माटी का जिसे, देशभक्ति वाला ही तूफान आज दीजिए। एक हाथ गीता तो है विनती हमारी माँ, दूजे हाथ हमें कुरान आज दीजिए। मजहब जाति भाषा क्षेत्र की दीवार ना हो मेरी माता, ऐसा हिंदुस्तान हमें दीजिए। जब जब लूँ जन्म यही देश मिले, यही माता बस मुझे ऐसा वरदान दीजिए। We now invite Yuvraj Vikram Singh of class 4B, who will be playing a very famous composition of the Delhi Gharana on his tabla.
My name is Yuvraj Vikram Singh. I study in class 4B. I am going to present before you Delhi Ka Qaida.
Thank you for the beautiful performance, Yuvraj. India is the cradle of the human race, the birthplace of human speech, the mother of history, the grandmother of legend, and the great-grandmother of tradition. The most valuable and artistic materials of man are treasured up in India. We now have a short video by the junior school of our institution.
29 states, 1,618 languages, 6,400 castes, 6 major religions, 6 ethnic groups, and 1 country. This shows that despite having diverse cultures, religions, traditions, languages, we stand together as one. Our country is a true representative of unity in diversity, and we are proud that we are Indians. With these words, I, Sia Bansal, welcome you all to this day, which holds an everlasting place in our national memory. Every year, 26 January is celebrated as Republic Day, as it was on this day that the Constitution of India came into existence. Happy Republic Day to all. Let us now begin the celebrations with a self-composed poem by Pragati Agarwal of 4C.
My nation is my pride. God has adorned it like a bride, moving from north to south in direction. One can witness thousands of variations. Guarded by the magnificent Himalaya, drained by holy Ganga and Narmada. Desert, delta, ocean, it embraces everything with utmost affection. Homeland of supernatural personalities who preferred nothing more than their duties. Gandhi, Tendulkar, Kalam, Raman, the names are in scores and dozens. The youth of today is equally assuring. In 2023, it is the space that we would be winning. Gold in Olympics is what we are bringing. Vanquishing the pandemic through masses vaccinating. Such is my country, so promising and nurturing. Being its child is an auspicious blessing.
Let us all remember the golden heritage of our country and feel proud to be a part of an ever-shining India. Now my friends Arham Ahmed and Devishi Verma are going to present a role play showcasing the conversation between a child and her grandfather discussing the relevance of the Republic Day.
Grandpa, we're at the polling booth.
Yes, dear. We are here for casting the vote.
So today, I will get the opportunity to see how people vote. Yay! I will also cast my vote.
No, you can't vote until you attain the age of 18.
That's fine, so I have to wait for some more years.
Indeed. You know, earlier we used to cast our vote through ballot paper, but now we use EVM machines to vote. So much has changed in these 73 years.
Really, Grandpa? Then will you please help me in writing my speech for this year's Republic Day celebrations at school? I'm really excited.
Definitely.
Thank you, Grandpa. So, why do we celebrate Republic Day every year?
Well, that's an excellent question. My child, we celebrate Republic Day every year because it commemorates the Indian Constitution, which came into effect on January 26, 1950. On this very day, the Constitution of India came into effect, which was drafted under the chairmanship of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar.
Wow, that's amazing. Now I know about the significance of this auspicious day.
So, do you want to know anything else?
Yes, Grandpa. I want to know, what do we mean by the term republic?
Republic means a country that has an elected form of government and an elected head.
Okay. Can you elaborate more about India as a republic?
My child, India is a country which has emerged as the biggest democracy infused with the spirit of justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. We should feel proud of our motherland and maintain unity and integrity of our nation. Just repeat after me. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram.
नमस्कार, गणतंत्र दिवस की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। युगों युगों से चली आ रही यह परंपरा है, यह भारत भूमि शूर वीरों की धरा है। इस धरा पर लिया जन्म, यह सौभाग्य हमारा है। जिसने भी हमको ललकारा, हमने उसे भगाया है। गणतंत्र दिवस पर लहराता तिरंगा हमको प्यारा है। विविधता में एकता वाला भारत देश हमारा है। 3 रंग का हमारा झंडा तिरंगा सबसे न्यारा है। यह बल पौरुष है, सदियों का बलिदान हमारा है। गुलामी की जंजीरों को सहना हमको नहीं गवारा है। इस पावन धरा पर बहती गंगा यमुना ब्रह्मपुत्र सतलुज जैसी नदियों की धारा है। धरती अपनी, अंबर अपना, सूरज चांद हमारा है। बोल उठा भारत का कंकण, देश हमारा न्यारा है। हम है स्वतंत्र, सब भारतवासी ने यही पुकारा है। गणतंत्र दिवस की पावन बेला पर लहराता तिरंगा हमको प्यारा है, हमको प्यारा है। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
Good morning, everyone. It is a proud moment for all of us as we embark on the 73rd Republic Day. Republic Day denotes an important event in the history of a country. On this day, the Constitution of India came into effect, thus turning the nation into a newly formed republic. So, to extend our gratitude for the great leader who gave us the boon of being a part of a republic, we have Swastik Verma from grade 3 dressed up as Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar.
I strongly believe it is the education which is the right weapon to cut the social slavery, and it is education which will enlighten the downtrodden masses to come up and gain social status, economic betterment, and political freedom.
Thank you so much, dear Swastik, for sharing such beautiful insights of Dr. Ambedkar with us. Moving on, we now have Shashwat Srivastav, who is eager to share his feelings that why does he rejoice being in a republic?
I rejoice to be in a republic because India embraced democracy wholeheartedly, and the Constitution of India was created in such a manner that all the citizens could enjoy equal rights pertaining to their religion, culture, sex and creed. People are entitled to vote and elect the representatives. Here we have freedom to speak, write and protest against evildoings. It is the only country where there are people of different languages, religions and cultures, but all of them live together in harmony. Really, our nation is an epitome of unity in diversity and universal brotherhood. Thank you.
ओ देश मेरे तेरी शान पे सदके कोई धन है क्या, तेरी धूल से बढ़ के, तेरी धूप से रोशन, तेरी हवा में जिंदा तू बाग है मेरा, मैं तेरा परिंदा। है अर्ज़ ये दीवाने की जहाँ भोर सुहानी देखी, एक रोज वही मेरी शाम हो। जो भी तू चुने, रेशम का हो मधुशाला या कफन सिपाही वाला, ओढ़ेंगे हम जो भी तू बुने। ओ देश मेरे तेरी शान पे सदके, कोई धन है क्या तेरी धूल से बढ़ के, तेरी धूप से रोशन, तेरी हवा पे जिंदा, तू बाग है मेरा, मैं तेरा परिंदा।
Hi Myra, why are you looking so upset today?
Yes, you're right, Adya. You know, on my way to school, I saw some people chopping a tree. This act made me very grumpy in the morning.
Myra, you should have stopped them. Don't you know it is our fundamental duty to protect our natural resources? Do your duty, know your rights.
Do your duty, know your rights. What are you saying, Adya?
Good morning, everybody. Let's witness a short play by my class 2 friends, We the People.
What are you doing? Your clothes are getting dirty with all the dust from this flag. How can you say that? It's not a piece of cloth. This is our national flag and the dignity of our country. We should respect it. Do you know, in our constitution, we have fundamental duties laid down for us towards the country. Respecting the flag and standing by one of them whenever the national anthem is sung. So, I shall always pay respect to my national flag and do deeds that would make my country proud.
Urjit, what have you done?
What? There is no dustbin, so where should I throw it?
You could keep it in a bag and throw it in the dustbin whenever you see one. Do you know it is our duty to protect our environment? We should not litter and keep our surroundings clean.
Sorry, friend. I will take care. Bakar, what are you doing?
I have written something on this bench.
Sarvagya is my best friend.
I have written it so that everybody who reads it will get to know that you are my best friend.
I appreciate that you call me your best friend. But spoiling public property is not a good thing to do. It is our duty to protect public property. It includes the school property also. We should not scribble on the benches and should not destroy the boards. Can anyone tell me whose duty is to preserve the school property?
Right, it's our duty.
Take vegetables, fresh vegetables. Hello, why are you selling vegetables? Do you go to school? No, I don't go to school. I sell vegetables every day. Why? You don't want to study? I want to go to school and study, but my parents do not have enough money. Don't you know that according to our constitution, it is your fundamental right to get education? Yay! Now I will go to school every day. Yay! School चले भाई school चले, देखो हम सब school चले. Yay! So, my dear friends, let's all fulfill our duties towards our country and enjoy the rights given to us by the Constitution.
अगर हम सब अपने कर्तव्यों का अच्छे से पालन करेंगे, तभी तो हम गर्व से कहेंगे मेरा भारत महान। थैंक यू।
मेरा नाम अभिमान्य श्रीनागर है और आज मैं आप सभी को एक कविता सुनाने जा रहा हूँ।
कविता का शीर्षक है मेरा देश निराला। मुझको मेरा देश पसंद है, इसका हर संदेश पसंद है, इसकी मिट्टी में आती मुझको सौंधी सी सुगंध है, इसकी हर एक बात निराली, इसकी हर सौगात निराली, इसके वीरों की गाथा सुन आती नई उमंग है। मुझको मेरा देश पसंद है। कितनी भाषा कितने लोग, हर एक की नई है सोच, संस्कृति सभ्यता भले हो भिन्न पर मिलते हैं एकता के चिन्ह। अगर देश पर आए आचे खोकर सब आए साथ, मेरा देश बड़ा महान ये है गुणों की खान। मुझको मेरा देश पसंद है, मुझको मेरा देश पसंद है। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
Since we have come to the end of the Republic Day program, let us promise to each other that we will become a better version of ourselves so that we could contribute to making our nation a better place. Thank you. Jai Hind.
We can boldly profess that our ability to reach unity in diversity will be the beauty and the test of our civilization. And this performance proves that we have achieved this aim. दे सलामी इस तिरंगे को जिससे तेरी शान है, सर हमेशा ऊंचा रखना इसका जब तक दिल में जान है। ना पूछो जमाने को क्या हमारी कहानी है, हमारी पहचान तो है कि हम हिंदुस्तानी हैं। Different yet similar, united we always stand. To celebrate the land of diversity and fraternity, we now have Yuvakshi to introduce us to another beautiful form of art in our country.
Our country is an amalgamation of different cultures, and every culture is distinctly glimpsed by the various dances. Bharatnatyam is one of the oldest existing dance forms of the world, and all other dance forms are said to have originated from it. Celebrating our land of diversity, the students of Jaipuria School present a dance depicting different cultures of one united nation, dancing the dance of Bharat. क्योंकि 100 रागिनियों से सजा भारत अनोखा राग है।
भारत अनोखा राग है, रागिनियों से सजा भारत अनोखा राग है।
सौरागिनियों से सजा भारत अनोखा राग है, ये प्यार का संगीत है,
ये शादी का गीत है, ये एकता का राग है, भारत अनोखा राग है। रागिनियों से सजा भारत अनोखा राग है, अनोखा राग है। भारत के इस एक तारे पे गूंज है जो जो रागिनी, सब मिल गई एक धुन बनी,
इस धुन में गाया
It was indeed a jaw-dropping performance by each and every one. Thank you all. Music is truly the means of giving form to our inner feelings without attaching them to objects or events outside the world. It expresses that which cannot be said and on which it is impossible to be silent. To manifest these thoughts into reality, we present before you the school orchestra with a melodious rendition of Rag Kalavati.
Incredible is all I can say. Thank you everyone. नहीं सिर्फ जश्न मनाना, नहीं सिर्फ झंडे लहराना, ये काफी नहीं है वतन पर यादों को नहीं भुलाना, जो कुर्बान हुए उनके लफ्जों को आगे बढ़ाना, खुदा के लिए नहीं जिंदगी वतन के लिए लुटाना। हम लाए हैं तूफान से कश्ती निकाल के, इस देश को रखना मेरे साथियों संभाल के।
My immense gratitude to the entire music and dance department, all the teachers, Joyita ma'am for sending the junior school video, and all the senior school children who have done this program, very beautifully curated. And the way you made last minute changes, even last night some changes were made. Thank you for doing all that and for presenting it so beautifully. After Vande Mataram, we'll part. Thank you, Preeti Singh ma'am, for all the coordination. Thank you so much, everyone. Very well done.
We now request everyone to keep themselves on mute and rise at their places for the national anthem.
फिर सूरज और चांद में जब तक है अरुणाई, हिंद महासागर की लहरों में जब तक है तरुणाई, वृद्ध हिमालय जब तक सर पर श्वेत जटाएं बांधे, भारत की गणतंत्र पताका हरहे गगन पर छाए. Let us give a huge round of applause for the performances by the young Jaipurians.
Yes, our progress has been uneven. The work of democracy has always been hard, contentious, and sometimes bloody. For every 2 steps forward, it often feels like taking 1 step back. But the long sweep of India has been defined by forwarding motion, a constant widening of our founding creed to embrace all, and not just some. Ultimately, that's what our democracy demands. It needs you, not just when there's an election, not just when your narrow interest is at stake, but over the lifespan. Let us all promise to be there to help our country whenever the need arises, because it's not an end, but a new beginning, with a new sparkle in the eye and new hopes. Let us pass on this legacy of leaders from generations to generations. With this, I, Sonakshi Maheshwari, the Vice Head Girl of the institution for 2021-22.
And I am Mehul Singh, the Vice Head Boy of the institution for the year 2021-2022. Take your leave. Bharat Mata ki Jai.